All right. We're going to finish off our agenda here. A little game we like to call What's More Likely. Introducing Jacob to this one. Very excited to do so. So for those of you who've been here, you know what's going on. For Jacob, who hasn't been here, you're going to learn. I got 4 What's More Likelies for you. You're going to tell me what's more likely between the two. You got to explain why. You got to give me your reasoning behind it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think all of them are very easy. And maybe not all of them come true one way or another, but they're out there, and I'm going to make you answer them. So with that said, let's get it kicking. It's going to start here with the guy we talked about today. The Pittsburgh Steelers missed on Jair Alexander. They will not be getting the former Packers star corner this season. Maybe it's a Jalen Ramsey. Maybe it's somebody else. Nobody's talking about replacing Darius Slay or Joey Porter Jr. or even Corey Trice. It's about replacing Beanie Bishop. That is the name to watch for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, what's more likely? The Steelers start Beanie Bishop for all 17 games this season, or another player, Dante Kent, Jalen Ramsey, any of the above, plays and starts more than half of the season at the slot corner position.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can never call you a liar. You just said this would be tough.
It's
Not
hard.
even a minute ago.
I did.
Oh, man. What's ringing in my mind right now is stubbornness. And I think because of that, I think there is a chance that because the Steelers do not get their guy, have not necessarily identified who the right slot guy is for the 2025 season, I think it is more likely that Beanie Bishop, the known commodity, the lesser of two evils, hypothetically, starts all 17 games. I think it is more likely that that happens than an outside addition or a rookie like a Dante Kent starts more than half of the games. I don't think that's the move to make. I want to be very clear about that. That's not Jacob calling the shots.
Yes.
But I think that is the more likely option right now.
Yeah. As much as we wish the Steelers would listen, they don't typically do it. And I hear you on that one. Beanie Bishop here. I'll say this. I mean, when we get to training camp, we're going to find out. Mm-hmm. We're going to find out if Beanie's good. But banking on an undrafted guy who got benched last season, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Number 2 for you. What's more likely? We've talked about Aaron Rodgers quite a bit this week, and for the last 2 weeks as he arrived, I was on a Columbus radio station today, and they asked me, what does success mean for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers? And I said, just showing that they're a contender. And they said, well, if he wins a playoff game, do the Pittsburgh Steelers bring him back? And I said, it depends on who they beat and how convincing it is that it's Aaron Rodgers being the difference maker. Well, this is the one I got for you. What's more likely? Aaron Rodgers forces his way into a second contract, which we've talked about quite a bit this week and last, or he's benched before the end of the season. What's more likely?
Oh, wow. Okay. Let me. Wow. Stump the Schwab. I'm going to stall. Stump the Schwab was my favorite old ESPN show while I think of an answer.
Shout out.
And it's happening right now. I think it is more likely that Aaron Rodgers gets his second contract with the Steelers than he gets benched before the end of the 2025 season. And I am going to double down on this theme of stubbornness. I think for right now, this is Tomlin's guy. The directive is, this is your guy. Let's see what he's got. And it's on you. And I think Tomlin wants to prove that he can identify the quarterback, the man who he needs under center to advance the Steelers from what they've been doing the last 8 years. So I think the stubbornness that brings, or call it gritty mentality to put a positive spin on it, will keep Aaron Rodgers coming back. And I find it more likely that he will be signing another contract than Mason Rudolph is the starting quarterback midway through the 2025 season. Not what I would like to happen, but I think that's more likely.
I love it. I love it. Will Howard, maybe. You never know. Skylar Thompson, I don't know if you listened to the Collins show today, but you got a shout out right from the jump here about nearly pushing somebody to the edge the moment you mentioned that Skylar Thompson looked good at minicamp. They were not thrilled. They're not thrilled.
Well, scrambling Skylar. Come on now.
All right. We'll keep them going here. We've talked a lot of wide receiver two over the last month or so since George Pickens was traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody anticipates the Pittsburgh Steelers will go out and they will add another wide receiver. Well, I got this one for you. What's more likely? Calvin Austin leads the Pittsburgh Steelers in receiving yards in 2025, or a player not currently on the roster leads the Pittsburgh Steelers in receiving yards in 2025.
Wow. I love this question so much because it truly does test what I've been saying for the last week and a half, which is that I think it is way more likely that they don't bring in somebody from outside of the team, and that it's, up to the players in the room right now. And so I don't want to waver off of that. I think it is more likely that Calvin Austin leads this team in receiving yards than any sort of outside addition, trade, or free agent, or someone we haven't yet mentioned on the show. I think I do stand by that Calvin Austin is due for a breakout season. And if training camp goes well, I'll feel even more convinced of that and confident about that. So yeah, let's say, that's the competition really is, can he put up more than DK? But yeah, I think that's more likely.
Obviously DK is in the mix, but hey, look at this one's what's more likely is not built for the weak or the easy, as they say. I'll ask you this as I change what's plugged into my laptop here, as my phone's about to die or my camera's about to die. If you were to guess the outside guy that could change your answer to the other side, who would it be?
Ooh, it cannot be a free agent edition, that is for sure. If it's Gabe Davis, I basically just giggle. I don't think there's much to do with that. I would be excited and convinced and confident in Romeo Doubs being a number 2. I would be convinced and somewhat more confident in a healthy Christian Watson as well. But I think overall there's a lot that feels borderline, so it's hard for me to say that I would be confident with certainty. So, let's roll with CA3 for a bit here and see what he gives us.
I like it. All right, I'll finish it off with this one. This is another guy we talked about last week who really shined in minicamp, who I think could be a make or break asset to the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025. Could be the guy that changes this defense from good, great to maybe elite if he plays well. It's the guy next to the guy who just signed a 2-year contract extension worth $12.5 million. That's Minka Fitzpatrick. What's more likely? Minka ties his career highs in interceptions with 6 or more, or goes interception-less for another season.
Oh man. I don't think anyone's going to like my answer. I think it's more likely that we see an interception-less season again from Minka Fitzpatrick. I think asking 7 interceptions from your safety, regardless of his ball hawking ability or his ability to sort of dial in as a pass protector, or a pass defender, is a colossal task. That's like a Herculean task for someone, even Minka, playing his best to do. I think it is more likely that he has a 0 interception season, but still is impactful than he puts up 7 or more interceptions. I'm not dissing Minka. I want to keep the optimism for Minka rolling going into this season with the hopes that the secondary just really hits another level. But yeah, 7 would be crazy to me.
7. What about 6? You think he gets 6?
Still super crazy to me. I don't see him getting more than like 1 or 2. But that would be huge to me. Again, if the goal is for, what we were talking about with like Deshaun Elliott yesterday, and with the improved run defense and the improved front 7, You shouldn't need someone to just like make these miraculous game-changing turnovers in order to make the defense effective and put the offense in position to score. So, if he's just being a good safety back there, that should be enough to help keep the Steelers defense, top 10 worthy.
I love it. Minka, I'm hoping for the best. We'll see what happens. That's what's more likely. Shout out to you guys. I actually think we do have one in here that we'll finish it off with. What's more likely from Carl Spackler? Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen makes their first Super Bowl.
I am curious what the record is for quarterbacks after the season after they get married. Because Josh Allen got married in the offseason, as we know. I imagine he's the happiest guy in the world, like we all are right after we get married. But like,
true,
personal life might, things change. I wonder how that affects performance on the field. Still, that being said, I think Josh Allen and the Bills have a better chance in 2025 than the Ravens. But man, that's a great question.
Great question. Shout out Carl Spackler.